And we told you, throughout this week and the next, we're going to focus on roads. But this time, we're starting with the hashtag Fix Lekma Now. And it's for good reason. There's a long-standing road, over a decade, not fixed. And apparently, it's just also in front of the Lekma Hospital, that big hospital, mainly a referral hospital for which we've had many residents complaining about their inability to access medical health, especially for pregnant women, leading to even some fatalities on the road just because of the bad nature of it. And now sometimes it takes several minutes to get to a hospital for a drive which should have just taken maybe a minute or two if you're close by. We're there over the weekend, and we also brought you that great package, getting those sentiments on the ground from the residents, the commercial drivers who ply the road, among others. We're bringing to you some of those concerns raised by the residents. When we come back, we're going to have Dr. Benjamin Okoboy. He's a member of parliament for the area. And he's been speaking on a number of them as well. Please, just watch this. When we come back, we'll introduce Dr. Bernard Okoboy. We kept having all these messages on our console that the state of the road was a concern for you, the residents, and even for those of you who necessarily may not be residing here but always ply this road. Is that true?
It has been our major concern. This thing has been seriously communicated to our MP and Assembly, and we yet haven't seen any serious work being done on this road. In fact, it is a serious worry to us, and we are even getting to the nerve that if the government doesn't take care, there will be a serious demonstration, more than what they even did in Accra at Kumipreku, concerning tension on this particular road.
You mean the Kumiye Preku?
Kumiye and Preku.
You also supported that demonstration?
In fact, I don't want to go political, but I'm telling you that if this road is not fixed, then the government should be ready for a serious demonstration.
Despite all these difficulties, all of you would have to ply it anyway. Why? Why is that?
Of course, that's where we reside.
Okay.
So no matter what you do, you have to use the road. Every 1 month, I've been going to change my shocks at that my car.
And that's your car?
That's my car. Every month, I've been changing shocks. As I'm talking to you right now, my lower amp is making noise because of the...
Which amp?
My lower amp.
Lower amp?
Yeah, it's making noise, but I'm waiting when the rain finishes before I'll go and fix it. But the road here, my brother, at all. And Okoboy, last 2 weeks, wanted to do demonstration.
If you say Okoboy, you mean the MP?
The MP wanted to do demonstration.
But I know him personally. He's a good man.
Of course, he's a good man, but how come he's not able to fix the road?
Well, you know MPs don't fix road. Don't you know that?
But he promised us that when we vote him into power, he will fix the road. Up to now, the road has not been fixed.
Afote, I find that a bit difficult. You know, MPs generally don't fix roads.
But they use this road as a campaign, and that is why we voted Okoboy to power. And up to now, he has not been able to fix the road. So who would I blame? I will not blame Kufa. Kufa didn't come here. It's Okoboy who came here to come and do campaign. That if you vote him into power, he will do the road.
It looks like our presence here has resulted to more anger, and there seems to be more agitations, especially for even passengers. It is not the fault of Okoboy, sir.
Who? It's who?
Oh, but the MP is not responsible for constructing roads.
Ah, which MP? MP Okoboy.
The MP is not responsible for construction.
If you talk to us,
if I talk to you, say what?
You know, for this road.
Why, but the MP not being the construction.
Who go do the road?
MP knows my number. It be government urban road.
We don't know government. We know Okoboy. Okoboy will if you talk to us.
You people, your matter hard.
I buy budget. Almost a budget for this road.
You buy what budget?
I get triggers. Man, God spoil for this road. Why I go figure money to chop?
What be your name?
Kweku.
Relax.
I don't go this one. No grass.
You are also worried about the where does this lead us?
It leads us to the, I can say this road is 3 different routes. We get one going to the railway line, we get the middle one going to, I can say, Obo. You know Obo? Then we get the other one to the, Fedic. And that place, the road is too terrible. Terrible.
But there was something you guys were telling me that you constantly, almost every week or 2 weeks or a month, you have to go to Abosokain to have your shocks. That's unbelievable. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Recently, I go buy my shocks about, say, roughly 3 weeks now. But then when you sit inside to nearby places, you see, say it's too rough. You see, they make and that's very terrible. As my senior man tell, recently this man come to the MP come, we talk about him. If he want to, make some action, that's why is that we have closed the road. And we tell him, say, look at the road. The road is too bad for us. So he should try to do something. Where now they start to, create the...
I'm told that he gave you a month. 24th of July is going to be when that deadline is up. You intend taking any other related action?
Yeah, what we are saying now, we are pleading that they should try to, even if you want surface that, they will do it for us. May they try to do it for us so that we'll be, going on in smoothly way, so that we will never all the time go to Apostle and buy shocks, our bow joint, and that's very bad because we buy so many. The money, even the work is not there. Look at how we got over here. It's crazy, man.
Well, so that's the state of the road and the pent-up feelings or sentiments of these residents, but also the road users and even those who just ply it as a connecting route. We have the MP, Dr. Okoboy, and Dr. Bernard Okoboy is here to give us some responses. You can find, or you could find that in those responses, many of the times, his name more than once or twice was mentioned by one single respondent. Dr. Okoboy, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
You've taken on the role of a development agent, almost like the road minister. But the Lekma Road is one hell of a terrible road, according to your residents.
Yeah.
You acknowledge that, don't you?
Yes, yes, yes. So first of all, let me say a very good morning to all your viewers. And to mention that myself, I grew up by this road. My family house is right by the road. So when you go off the road, you enter my family compound. That's where I grew up. So I know this road very well. Now, prior to the elections, I go around a lot, I interact with my people, and I knew that the one single project that was so dear to them was this road. Now, what I told them was not that I'm going to fix the road. I told them that an MP can do advocacy, make a strong case. So
facilitate.
Exactly, so that the road is done. And I don't run away from that. And this is something that I've been doing since the first day I was voted. I started to get close to government officials, to those who are stakeholders in the roads ministry. So let me give a quick background. In 2017, when I was sworn in, I started doing research on the road and realized that there was a contractor on this road named Malin Investment Limited. Malin Investment Limited. So I tried to find out what was the issue, because he demobilized from the road, the site, some months before the election, about 8 months before the election. He packed out. So my research showed that he had a number of certificates that had not been paid. After mobilization that he was given in 2015 when he started the project, nothing had been paid beyond the mobilization. All the certificates, there were about 6 certificates to the tune of about 25 million Ghana cedis. So what did I do? Quickly, I started to approach finance ministry, pleading with them to give him some.
Now that's back in 2017.
This is 2017. So this fight started.
Because there was already a liability.
Yes. So I even managed to get a meeting organized between myself, the contractor, and one deputy finance minister. These things don't happen. I had to accost the finance minister when we went for a program at the Royal Sage. He organized a meeting with the contractor and personally told him, we are going on a road show. When we come back, I'll make sure you are paid a certificate. But to enable me to do this, try and go back to the road so that when I'm paying you the certificate, there is evidence that you are working. But unfortunately, the contractor did not go. Now, so later, we had to engage the roads minister.
Was the payment made?
The condition was that when he moves, then he gets the payment.
Then he starts getting
the payment. In fact, by the time I went there with him, there was one certificate that was going through the process, but had not materialized, had not hit the account. Sure. So you can imagine, I also had to go to controller and accountant general, MP. I went to see the controller. Went to the government, they call him the cashier, chief cashier. I had to meet all these technocrats to get them to work on his payments. got to a lot of technical. Finally, the first one, which was in the process, hit his account. When it hit, bank placed injunction on it because apparently the gentleman owed a lot. Some of the people in his company went to court. I had to try to settle court issues, get them to come to a meeting, all this. But what emerged is that the minister called a meeting, that's somewhere early 2018, and asked the contractor, can you be on this road? He said he could, if paid the money. He gave an assurance, and because of that, the minister came on the Lekma Road and made that promise that by 31st, active work would have started.
I remember that.
Exactly. So it was based on assurance Malin gave us. Now, Malin said within a week he was going to go on the road. 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months. It became obvious he couldn't.
But whose responsibility was it? Was the Roads Ministry?
Yes. So I went back again to the Roads Minister, and Roads Minister said, look, where things are going, I'll take this contract and give it to another contractor. Then we had a contractor from Nigeria who was giving this contract. I was there when the contract was given to him. I was the most happy person in this country. And then this contractor said, but the thing is that he was supposed to pre-finance the project.
And what time is that?
November, end of November.
Just 2018?
2018. So
you saw some green light? Or
yes.
Some light at the end of the tunnel by November 2018?
Yes, in fact, prior to that, people are threatening demonstration in the community. So luckily when this contractor came, it gave me to the pressure came down. Only for us to wait for months, this contractor didn't show up. Apparently didn't have money to do the road. So I had to go back to the minister, plead with him, and then now they are looking at re-awarding to another person. So my brother.
So from 2017, your instrumental advocacy resulted in the road being re-awarded to a contractor.
Yes.
But there's supposed to have been some mobilization paid. What's the current status quo? What happened? No mobilization was paid?
Yes, well, he was not paid any mobilization.
So you're supposed to just pre-finance?
Yes, and you see, I don't blame my people.
Which people?
I'm talking about the constituents.
Okay.
When they say it's Okoboy, we know. The current structure of our political system, honestly, most of my citizens, they say Okoboy should fix the road. Not because they think I have the money, but they know I am the one who can access the ministers and those people. So those comments are genuine comments. But when I go to them, make a strong case, and they are having challenges, we all ought to find out what challenges they are having. But my bit is to make a strong case. And Roland, I have a letter here. Just to give you an idea, I'll read this letter. This was far back, 10th April 2018. We're in 2019.
10th April?
Yes, over more than a year.
Let me see the date.
10th April 2018.
It's there. And this one is to
the Executive Secretary, to His Excellency the President of the Republic. Now, this letter was written after close to 1 year of active advocacy, research, walking around and all that. And I'd virtually peaked. So I wrote this letter just to bring attention to what was happening. So this was not the beginning of the advocacy or my fight.
You had done some legwork.
I'd done close to 1 year of legwork. This was 2018. Now see, the Executive Secretary to His Excellency the President, dear sir, construction of the Teshi Link Road in the Ledzokuku constituency, 10th April 2018. Now, I write to commend you. This was 10th April 2018. I write to commend you for your remarkable, this to the Second Secretary of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, to commend you for your remarkable contribution towards the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda through your provision of meticulous service to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. I write to respectfully also to bring to your attention a 7.5 kilometer road under construction located in my constituency, the Ledzokuku constituency. The road contract was signed between Government of Ghana and Malin Investment Company Limited. The contractor, after having worked on the road for about a year, demobilized and abandoned the project as a result of non-payment of certificates. The 7.5 kilometer road has not seen any works since last quarter of 2016. This road is a dual carriage road, the only road that connects Spintex Road directly to the beach road. Now, let me come to another paragraph. The very bad state of the Teshi Link has turned the Lekma Hospital into a white elephant. That is avoided by both patients and doctors due to difficulty accessing the facility. Some pregnant women in the past have had their pregnancies terminated and their health put at risk by this road. Mr. P.V. Obin of blessed memory was transported to the Lekma Hospital on this road, with a journey from the point of sudden illness to the hospital taking over 45 minutes instead of the less than 10 minutes that it would have taken if the road had been constructed. Look at what I said. Mr. Executive Secretary, I have visited almost every public officer with the capacity to do something about this road. From the Minister of Roads and Highways to the Budget Director at the Ministry of Finance, the Controller and Accountant General Department, and all that. Let me just conclude. Now, this is what I say. The Ledzokuku constituency has 210,000 police stations. Over 80% of road users are in Sakumono, Nongwa, Spintex, Bachona. Over 1 million people stand to benefit or be protected if this road is fixed. I humbly appeal to your office to call an emergency meeting on the state of the tertiary link. This was 2018 April. And this, look at what I said. I said, I humbly appeal to your office to call an emergency meeting on the state of tertiary. The possible continuation or termination of the contract with Mali Investment Limited in the face of legal impediments being encountered by the contractor and the consideration of an emergency plan on the road in preparation ahead of the rainy season. This was 2018 rainy season. It has passed. Another rainy season is about to pass. So, you know what? When I met the chief of staff. That's my mother, Mrs. Freeman. She tells me, Doctor, we all know your road is important. We are giving serious attention to it. I meet the minister, he tells me, Doctor, your road is on our radar. What I see is that there are challenges that they are having. I mean, talk about the ministry. What we have to do is to find out from the ministry what these challenges are. But for me, if my people complain, look, I'm a physician. If my people vote me out because of this road, I will not be surprised. But I'm not doing this because I don't want to be voted out. I'm doing this because I consult at the hospital. I know that...
Which hospital? The Lekman Hospital?
Yes.
Because I've seen you on social media go and do some voluntary work there.
Look, I work there. So I know the benefits, not only to those in Teshi, to citizens. Because if you are passing there, you get an emergency on the sprinters, you can be rushed there. So the advocacy on this road is not about the fortunes of me, the Member of Parliament. It's about the security and life of every citizen. And this is the case we have to make. I was in theater 1 year ago. I had a very difficult case. I called one doctor, a senior, to come and assist me from La General Hospital, Dr. Kwate. Dr. Kwate drove straight to the hospital in the night. And when Dr. Kwate got to the hospital, the first comment he made was that if you call me in the middle of the night to come here, I will not step here because I nearly lost my life coming here through the Lekman Road. That was over a year ago. This is what he told her. And since then, I've not been able to reach him in the case of emergency. So, my brother, for me, I have gotten assurances, just that we've not seen active work. And I believe that there are challenges. And what we have to do is to find out what those challenges are. Yeah.
On the ground, when we went there, there was sentiment. You talked about fatalities of people getting injured, etc., and even those in gestation. But we're told by some of the commercial transport operators that they've had fatalities recorded in their car for a journey that could take 5 minutes, and because of the delay, the pregnant women died. Are you aware of some of those cases?
Yeah, you know, I know that a bad road can threaten the pregnancy and life of, those who use it. Like I said, my letter over a year ago captured some of these things. So it's not that I'm not aware. I intentionally read excerpts of this letter so that my people will know, so that citizens will know that over a year ago, I brought all this to the attention of the senior people. Now, let me also add that I use this road not once a while. Every day I use the Lekman Road. I have family that live by the Manette Road, and I also have family that live at Demo. So I stay virtually with all these people. Now, what I've realized is that I use a Toyota Hilux pickup. Almost every 2-3 months, I take it to the mechanic to try and get some.
Even you as an MP?
Yes.
Your Toyota Hilux pickup,
So,
you have to send to the mechanic for repairs every
3 months, almost every 3 months.
And even that would have been a new car when you bought it.
Yeah. And it's in fairly good condition. So, honestly, anytime I use the road, myself, I feel for those who are not using strong. This is an off-road vehicle.
The rest of your citizens who
Yes,
are
exactly.
who don't have a vehicle that is in that
as rugged,
model or
yes,
the type
this
that
a,
you use.
Yes, this is a Toyota Hilux. It's supposed to be able to contend with the rough terrain, but it had to go to the mechanic frequently. So, but you see, members of parliament, we represent our people. When they have a problem, it's our problem. If you tell people that it's not, I don't fix roads, it does not help the situation. What you have to do is to make a strong case. And Roland, I insist that I've made one of the stronger cases for the road. I get it that there's a challenge with the ministry. I believe that you also must try so that we all understand what the challenge is from the ministry.
Did you use this road as one of the lead pointers to get elected as an MP?
You see, the people, this road was a factor in their decision that they made as to which MP they chose. Not because I had necessarily told them I'll fix the road for you, but it was to tell me that working on this road would help me. Now you get what I'm saying?
They said it in Ghana.
Yeah.
Well, vote to Habo. No,
Yeah.
yes, Sagbe.
You know, Roland.
Jenaka.
Yeah, Roland. You know, I am not those MPs. Let me put it this way: as a leader, I don't send people to go and pick information from the ground. I go there myself with them. So the sentiments and feelings of my people, I know it. I mean, I know their problem. Everywhere I go, whether it's in the church. Look, there was one time, that was close to a year ago. I visited one church. Immediately I was introduced. Someone screamed from the back, "You should get out of this place. See how bad the Lekma Road is." And what is he saying? In church. And the elders had to come
Where
in.
Christ's
Yes,
message was
yes,
being preached.
Yes.
For forgiveness.
Exactly. You know, so later, when I had opportunity to speak, I started to let them know that there are projects that I can handle from my resources as an MP. There are others that you have to go and talk to the government. And that this is one of them. The guy started shouting, "Enough of the talk. Go get us the road." You know, so I mean, this tells you how deep the frustration is. But again, I blame the current political arrangement where the citizen does not even know the address or the office of, let's say, the minister in charge of a sector. All he knows is that you came to my house to talk to me, so get it done. And you heard it from some of them that we don't know Ekufado, we don't know Isokoboy. And when they say this, because I also do psychology, I know where the thinking is coming from. I don't necessarily blame them. I focus energies on how we get the problem fixed. And you remember, it's not every complainant who is coming from Ledzokuku. 80% of road users don't come from my community. They are coming from Bachona, Spinters, Krowor.
Are they all not part of your constituency?
Don't you get it? Spinters is Tema West. Krowor is Honorable Afole. But the point is that they pass through Ledzokuku to access central Accra. So it's like a transit town. You know, this is a community of close to 500,000 people. If you add Sakumono, Spinters, Bachona, Adogono, those who are using the road, it's over 500,000 folks. So it's not necessarily only our problem. It's a problem of Eastern Accra. And I've been to Urban Road. Every engineer at Urban Roads knows me. I spend more days at roads, Urban Roads, their offices than in Parliament. You guys sometimes say that you don't see MPs in the chamber. How can you sit in the chamber and be looking at bills and stuff when your people are telling you this road is killing us? You have to run around.
I'm just watching your facial expression right here.
No,
on the screen. You are frustrated, definitely.
No. I mean, you know what? When you're a leader, you should be the last person to lose hope or to be frustrated. The leader must keep the faith. I know most of my people are frustrated, some are losing hope and all that. But I have faith in this government, that this government would fix this road. I have that faith. I cannot afford to lose hope because I am the leader. The destiny of my people is encapsulated within my authority. So as a leader of the Ledzokuku constituency, I cannot afford to lose faith, to lose hope, and be frustrated. I am extremely what's the word, disturbed. Extremely disturbed by the state of the road. But I must keep and hold on to the faith. And I believe that this government can. In fact, I believe I believe strongly that the Akufo-Addo government is the government that would fix the road. We're having challenges. If any media house starts an advocacy, Roland, there's no way I can condemn that.
Are you saying what we're doing is advocacy?
No.
We've had concerns being raised by residents of Lekma.
No, you don't
as well as you said the extra 500,000 people who make up the million people plying the road.
After receiving those concerns, just like I also did, you have started, what's the word? If advocacy is not too appropriate, you are championing and making a case that a road should be built. I made this case a year ago. So my point is that what you are doing is what I've been doing. There's no way I can have issues with you. It is the right thing that you are doing. We are trying to get the attention of the authorities.
Let's go back to the residents. Yeah. Let's get some more insights and some of the frustrations, but also the sentiments that have been echoed, especially by the Residents Association president who we had interacted with. Just watch this.
Is it Teshi estate or greater estate?
Greater estate. Lọ́lẹ̀ gbẹ̀ ní yọ̀ bí ẹni pẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ neke school ne gbẹ̀ni. Kẹ̀jẹ̀ ló ṣe gbẹ̀ kó bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ní mi dún kúrò.
Madam, oh, we are trying. Honey, me uma fair interpretation. If you allow translation now, you all. And you get to find out what Afo Manche is saying is that he operates this washing bay. And so he consistently tends to see many customers coming with very dirty cars. A concern for him, for which Afo Manche seems not to understand, is the fact that this seems to be a very main road, referral road, linking many adjoining areas in this Teshi area. He still doesn't understand why each time there's an MP, that MP seems to have his party in government. And that should ordinarily translate to mean that the road within this area, but also
too far, about 500 meters from here, and I'm the president of the Residents Association.
Hey, which area?
Teshi Residents Association.
Wow.
We organized a demonstration about almost a month ago on this road, and when you look at the state of the road, it stretches from the La Scala police station all the way to Manette Junction. That's the Teshi Link Road, and then this project started in 2003. When President Kufuor came to cut sod on the road, but then nothing really was done on the road. Somewhere in 2009, after Professor Mills came, then they started the demarcation of the roads and paying of the, they had to expand it.
The residents. Some compensation.
Compensation. So they started paying the compensation. In 2012, during JM's era, they did a relocation of the high tension, the pipelines. And
so they have all that. They have done all that.
So I think it was almost complete. Now today, when you look at the state of the road now, they've left it and it has gone bad. Erosion has taken place. When we are moving from here, that's Agbizan. When you get there, you realize that it's no more potholes, but it's manholes over here. We have a major hospital, general hospital here. And when people are sick from all sectors, Nungwa, even within Teshi here, even people from Labadi, they all come over here. And when you are transporting even pregnant women to this place, the hospital here, the level of stress.
10 cedi. Ebi a baby to say Dansoman, Accra, Nungwa, 10 cedis no. Teshi ya beju 15 cedis. O my 10 cedis ayenye. From Manette to Teshi police station. O stop na be mama 5 cedi amenye ba sanka kwan ya 5 cedi meji no mako. Mwaye masa yesere mo ne mpanifo ankasa. No mo mwaye. Ya de sere de kese no no.
Again, he also reiterates the concern about the poor state of the road. And for a commercial vehicle driver like him, he's had instances, and he's even cited several ones in which he's taken especially pregnant women just to the Lekman hospital. A journey that should have been covered under 5 minutes, and it's taking him between 10 to 15 and even 20 minutes. Ultimately, he's even had a death recorded of a pregnant woman who, if she had had access to emergency medical care, would have had that life saved. He also reiterates about the quantum of fares that are charged by the drivers operating here. And he says that Teshi Agblesan, actually, all the areas with poor roads in Teshi have some of the highest in Accra. And that should bring government and people's mind to the poor state of the road.
Your job is on the line.
Yeah. So
if you don't get this road fixed, they say they won't vote for you.
Yeah. I mean, I am not one of those politicians who is scared of being rejected by his people.
You are not scared?
I'm making a point. I came into politics to lead, to create legacies. This road is one of the legacies that we can all leave for ourselves, not only for me, for this government, and for the current generation. I said I grew up by this road. Over 20 years, it's not been done. That is what I am interested in. If, and I believe it to be done, if for any reason it's not done, and my people say no to me, I will not see it as a disaster. I go back to the consulting room. The point is that they have the right to choose the reason why they will vote for a leader. For me, I am conscious that this road is one of the factors they are considering or they have on their table. That is why I've run around for close to 2 years. But the power is not in my hands to determine. So if those with the power, especially the roads ministry, they don't do anything, and based on that, people decide that you have to go, why not? You find another space where you can contribute to building this country. I tell people, it's not about me. I do this because I appreciate the value it will bring to health, it will bring to movement, it will bring to business, the activity it will generate, the impact on lives. That's why I'm running around this road. The motive is not to stay. How long can you stay in office as a member of parliament? You go one day, and by the grace of God, I say it all the time, there are many opportunities to still operating beyond parliament. I am doing this because somebody has lost his life in this country because of access to a health facility. I work there, I operate there, I consult there. I say these things because of the viewer. You never know when you'll be rushed to that hospital. Don't see it like it's about the fortunes of a politician. And for my people, I never blame. I know them. They know they cannot go to the roads minister's office. It's Okoboy they know. So if they tell you Okoboy come and fix the road, the message is that talk to them for us. And I am talking to them. Let's find out what the challenges are. And like I said, I have not lost hope on this road. I am disturbed extremely, but I have faith in this government to fix the road. Let's all uncover the challenges and help to get it fixed. Yeah.
One of them was reminded me, and I left my statistical books at home.
Yeah.
And they were telling me there's no MP who has had 2 terms.
Yeah.
In your constituency.
Yeah.
That's true. I went to check.
Yeah, you know, Ledzokuku, well,
it's a peculiar constituency.
Since we started active competitive politics, you know, 92 MPP didn't participate. But since 96, when we participated, no MP has gone twice. That is true. I am aware of that. That is why I work every single day to make my citizens appreciate what the status quo is, what I'm working on and all that, so that they appreciate the efforts I'm making on their behalf. It is not an easy constituency. It's one of the biggest in the country. 210 polling stations, 149. Now with the new registration, we will hit about 170,000 registered voters. A population of about 500,000. Stretches from Action Chapel to Cocoa Beach. That's the diagonal. From Beshi Bridge all the way to somewhere Coca-Cola. Is huge. This is like a whole city on its own. I know of the dynamics. I won by less than 2,000 votes.
You won by?
Less than 2,000. It's a slim majority. But remember that in 2012, we lost this seat by over 13,000 votes. That's the margin by which the NDC won. By the grace of God, we were able to close that margin and then win quite slightly. For the presidential, we lost by about 800 votes. So you can see some element of skirt and blouse. But for both presidential and parliamentary...
So Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo as presidential candidate lost that seat by that margin.
John
Dramani Mahama won that seat. So it will mean those who voted for John Dramani Mahama, who probably are NDC members, sympathizers, whatever you can talk about, supporters, they decided to vote for you.
I mean that happens in some cases. Remember, the president also lost by 13,000 votes in 2012. So he also did a lot of work. Together, we also did a lot of work to close that margin. And then, so it means he gained by over 12,000 plus, you know. But the bottom line is that if you look at the dynamics, it's a very close shave, you know, it's a difficult place. But it's not only about Ledzokuku, like I said. 80% of all road users in Ledzokuku are going to Spintex, are on their way to Krowor.
The people we spoke to, they were not going to Spintex. They were pointing to areas they live around.
No, but that's true. You have such people also. I mean, there are people who live in Ledzokuku who face the brunt. And for them, the reason why they are more agitated is that they use the roads daily. You know, some are even more or less plying their trade on the road. So, Roland, in summary, the frustration of my people, I appreciate it. I understand where it's coming from. I experience the road daily myself. So,
you do?
Yes, daily. So if anyone tells me that the road is bad, the fellow is only telling me what I'm experiencing myself.
What you already know.
Yes, exactly.
And I believe you already know, because my lead producer that day, Derek Ekosam, said, we only don't have to focus on the Lekma Road. Let's get to the adjoining roads and look at issues of sanitation, etc. So we decided to use some of the connecting roads, the one that would lead to the children's home and all that. Not bad.
Yeah.
Your whole constituency, I'm not saying that I'm laying all the burden on you, but it looks like Tashi Mami Dienche.
But you know what? Just yesterday, I was thinking of all this, and then something came to mind, that government is like a medical doctor. It's only sick people that are brought to you. It's only problems that are brought to government to solve. This government has helped in a lot of areas. Employment, you know, because I'm on the health committee and all that. One of the areas that, with what I experience in my community, needs a lot of work to be done on is the roads. Almost every road I have in Ledzokuku is not in a good shape. Even the few that have bitumen on them have deteriorated badly. I've made all this the case to the roads ministry. The taxi unions write to me that, Doc, pay attention. No road in the community is in a good shape. No resealing, no re-asphalting, no reshaping. But Roland, respectfully, these are projects that I cannot handle with my resources. I have to go and make a case. I've made all the case. The roads ministry tells me, we have taken notice of your complaints and your petitions, but we still have what we have today, you know? So these are, and remember, I'm a first-time MP.
Well, all the MPs who lost are first-time.
Yes. So the point I want to make is that these are things that you experience as you go through the journey of being a politician. And I'm learning all the lessons, and I have not stopped talking to those who can do something about the situation. And like I keep on saying, I believe, I have overwhelming faith that it will take this government to fix this road. Yeah.
While we say all that, how closely do you work with the assembly? Because really, they are supposed to be the next line of agents from the road ministry to them. And then even before it will come to
look, I mean, when you come to the assembly, the roads engineer, municipal roads engineer, is supposed to be the one in charge. I talk to him daily. In fact, sometimes I call him 11 p.m., sometimes 5 a.m. I'm on his case. And I even go to the extent of more or less arranging meetings for him at the ministry. Go see this director, make a case, get this bill of quantities and all that. And he tells me, Doc, I mean, we are working on all that. Look, Roland, this country, if we want to pay attention to infrastructure, especially roads, we must develop other financing models to work on our roads, especially maintenance. Because when you have a situation where if an assembly or a community wants to do grading or just patching or just to make a road more travel, they have to virtually drive to headquarters. It's not a nice arrangement. This is an intrinsic, is an endemic issue. When I say endemic or intrinsic, it means that no matter the government that is there, this is the arrangement or structure they have to work with. It must be remodeled. It makes action or the start of action slow, you understand? I mean, you can't have a situation where to get a particular road, not tarred, not asphalt, but just one drain on the side and fixing a pothole. You can't have a situation where you have to work on BOQs for them to go to the Ministry of Roads, urban roads, region, national. I mean, you can't handle a community. And now,
your advocacy so far has shown that you're you could be a good contractor. You seem to know all the terminologies in civil engineering.
No, but I spend more days at the roads ministry and the urban roads department than I spend in parliament.
Your constituency members disagree.
Yeah, because they've not seen any action.
But it's good that today you're telling us.
Yeah. It's
then sanitation is also a big problem.
Yeah. Sanitation is also huge. I have engaged the sanitation minister. Myself, you know, sometimes when I talk about the absence of a plan or a structure to handle sanitation, practical one, people interpret it as taking on the assembly, trying to put them in the bad light. But honestly, we need to have a sustainable local structure to make sure that citizens have a role to play in the management of our environment. Myself as the MP, there are occasions I've stepped in gutters, cleaned with volunteers for 2-3 hours. When we finish, even to get...
I've seen that with the pictures you post on social media, and especially even on your status, especially on WhatsApp.
Even to get the filth taken to the site and all that becomes a problem. The same person, MP, you have to work on maybe trucks, you have to go and pay. You can't have a country where the member of parliament, because of our arrangement, becomes the chief roads engineer, the chief environmental officer, the chief... but like I understand the thinking of our people. They don't have access to those at the top. It is only when we fully decentralize, when MCs are voted for, when now citizens know how to access a ministry, then they would also access those with you see, in the scheme of things, we are influencers. If you were to be doing, let's say, business or marketing, you have users for a product. This product they are talking about, I am an influencer. I am not a decider. I am a user and an influencer as well. But those who are deciders are not us. But when a citizen tells you, Okobo, you are the decider, you don't have to spend time saying, I am not. The point is that they can't go to the decider. So you go and talk to them.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you deal with the political section of dissent within your demographics or population? Those who also are raising sentiments but are not visibly are not part of the rank and file of your party.
No. So
because you represent everybody,
you see, really. I am a Democrat. I am one of those people very friendly to criticisms. Every criticism either will have a very strong base or a weak base. Most of them complaining about the bad nature of the roads and wanting to, what's the name? Is it the punish or vote against Okobo and all that? It's the frustration they are experiencing. So why do you fight those sentiments? What I rather put my energy in is to make the efforts to get the road fixed, and then maybe by God's grace, those pent up feelings can start going down, you know. And what I hope does not happen is for active work to start maybe in an election year. That one.
Because the election year is just about 5 months down the road.
Yeah, sometimes
we'll be entering 2020.
No. I keep on.
You're not worried.
No, I keep on telling you, I am in politics to improve lives. We make society better. If you push for that, you don't get the results, and somebody says go back to the consortium, you have to do that happily. Yeah, that's politics.
Well, wish you all the best. But it's good that you mentioned consulting, and you're a medical doctor too. And Dr. Okobo is a member of parliament for Ledzokuku.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time.
Yes,
I share in your pain.
Yeah, thank you for
I share your pain because you're one hell of a good MP we have in Ghana.
Thank you for
one of the best.
Thank you for the
who
momentum.
Works for the good of the country and its constituency.
The momentum is good.
But in your medical doctor too, a very qualified one too. I see a lot of those posts and when you are giving community service.
We are trying to do our best.
What do you feel about legalization of weed?
Well, there are a lot of disadvantages for having weed accessible, and there are strengths or advantages also. Maybe we have to find time and go really into that. The biggest issue is about control. If a country can put in place an arrangement, I told a friend that, look, if you license only 2 companies in Ghana, to go to take a town or a village and produce marijuana, where it is so tightly controlled that when it leaves their gate, we know where it is going. It is something you can attempt to do, especially because there's a huge market globally. I'm not talking about Ghana, and it's in the billions. Sometimes the resources you get can be more than cocoa, 10, 20 times than cocoa. What we have
from resources from
in terms of the
Indian hemp.
Yes, in terms of
in Tampe. Igbo.
Exactly. But if you don't have the structures to control it, and it feeds or leaks into your system, there are many psychosocial issues that research have shown are connected to marijuana abuse. I have a friend who is now not sane because way back in GSS, as a friend, I knew he was using marijuana.
He was indulging.
Yes.
In his usage.
He's one of the
initially for recreational purposes.
Yes, he's one of the most intelligent gentlemen I've ever come across. As we speak, he was one of the finest engineers this country had. He was working with an international company. He's one of their lead
He went
engineers.
to university to study engineering.
Yes, I was with him in a university in this country. He went to write aptitude test before the company. It's a multinational company took him. He was the best at the aptitude test. As I speak, I see him by the streets. So as a physician, I know of the harmful effects. I know also of the effects in terms of the pain relieving effects when it comes to cancer patients, it comes to people with very bad trauma cases. Weed can help them when you prescribe in some amount. But I insist, if you are a country without the structure to control weed production and it's going to the market, don't dare try it.
So you're saying we shouldn't dare it?
We don't have the structures. If there is evidence, if anybody can show me.
Are you saying that even if we have the structures, based on our precedent, we're likely to subject it to abuse?
No, you don't get what I'm saying. Look, if...
I get what you're saying. I'm asking you a question.
Usually, that's what is done in other countries. They license two companies to allow some level of competition. When they produce from their gate, it goes straight to either the airport or to the ports, and it's over there. And then they rake in their money. Because
tightly controlled.
Yes. Look, I was in Geneva a few weeks ago. Roland, just as you buy paracetamol or buy Fanta from the shop, people are buying weed toffees, they are buying weed drink, weed whatever. The weed is not produced in Holland, in Switzerland. It's coming from countries. Countries are using the inflows from that sale to fix their roads, to fix their hospitals, because there's a market out there. If our leader or leaders go on a moral tangent that, well, if it's not good for my people, I'm not going to ship it to those who have legalized it, that is a moral case. But looking at the business aspect, looking at the finance aspect, I know that there are billions out there to be raked. But you must wait till you have the structures to control. If it goes into the system, we'll be in trouble.
What structure are you talking about? We should have fence walls on the roads that will be transporting wheat to the airport.
Monitoring everything that comes to the product chain. Those who do harvesting, those who reap it.
But if you're taking wheat from Hokwe or Asankrigwa or somewhere in the Wasa area, by the time you get to Cape Coast, 4 bags of the weed may have fallen off.
What we have now is not the structure I'm talking about. You have a controlled area.
Tightly controlled.
Yes, even access. If you don't have your biometric details, your identity is not captured on the system, you can't go near there. No vehicle leaves without being captured by camera. These are things others have done. So it's a tight chain.
We can make you Minister of Health for weed, because you know the business. But you're a medical doctor, so I think it's in order.
You have to have an open mind. You don't say no to any project, but you must know every disadvantage and advantage. You weigh your options, you go in for it.
I've enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
You're one hell of a good MP.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Especially as we also increase our coverage of the sentiment and what is on the ground in Lekma. And please, if you want to comment on all our coverage of stories emanating from Lekma, make sure that you attach the hashtag #FixLekmaNow, and then also add the hashtag JoyNews, especially on Twitter. And you can reach us through handle JoyNews on TV, and then also Join News on TV on Facebook. Well, I have a personal handle on Twitter, Zoro Walker Ghana. Please let us hear from you. Facebook, I'm also there.